What up, Dokkaners? So now that the dust has settled from the Dual Dokkan Festival Plastic Week banners, the question is, which character or characters are worth picking up with coins? This is going to be a discussion on the Dokkan Festival Red coin selection, if you want to pick anybody up altogether at all. If you don't want to, you don't have to, but I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on this subject because I've received some questions on this on my live stream, and now that I finished all the showcase videos and the content, might as well do this one. So when it comes to this conversation, there is never a wrong time to save. If you don't know and you can't make up your mind, just keep saving. The reason why is because you want to make sure that when you actually spend your coins, you are getting the most value, not only upon purchase, but the most value retention. There's a lot that goes into picking up these coins to begin with. It takes a lot of stones spent. And unless you're a whale, that's not going to be a very easy thing to do every now, like all the time. So whenever you do get your 400 coins or 500 coins for Dokkan Festival LRs, when you spend them, you want that decision to last for a while to the point that it was worth it. If you bought a character and then the next banner, a better version of that unit releases, you've instantly invalidated 400 coins, which is how many stones? 2,000 stones? Isn't it like 50 stones for 10 coins or something like that? One multi for 10 coins? That's a lot of stones wasted. So you want to make sure you make the right choice. And if you can't figure out what the right choice is for you, there's no shame in waiting, no matter what. At the end of the day, no matter what we're talking about in this video, I can tell you for certain, saving for Dokkan Festival LRs is always a smarter decision. Dokkan Festival LRs are the best units in the game. Always. Dokkan Festival TURs can also be very good, but Dokkan Festival LRs just offer that much more. And for the price going up by 100 coins, it is absolutely worth the expense. So if you don't want to buy anybody just by virtue of it not being a Dokkan Festival LR, that is a valid reason. That being said, the two characters that are worth picking up and considering would be these two. Now, there are multiple ways to look at it, but the reason why I think that these characters are worth picking up is because you only really need one, and then the other can be run as a friend unit, and you've got a pretty cohesive superhero movie heroes team. Not to mention individual capabilities of the Gohan. I actually kind of like the Gohan more because of the individual capabilities, the defense stacking, the slot one presence, the pretty impressive damage output for a defensive stacker, no less. On top of which you have a cleansing ability, which not too many units possess. And that is a very underrated and underappreciated ability nowadays. Because enemies can seal and stun, being able to cleanse yourself with the active skill. Where the hell is the active skill? Am I blind? I've got to be blind. Oh, this is the SSR. Yep, that explains it. That explains so much. Here it is. Senzu Bean. That is a very useful thing to have. This guy leads and works on superhero movie hero teams. This is actually going to be a thing that continually increases in value over the next couple of years. In September, at this point, we don't even know if the GDC is going to reflect this, but regardless, in September, Dragon Ball Super Beerus is going to be starting. After that, Dragon Ball Super Frieza will be coming up. We've already been given the official confirmation that the Frieza remake, revamp, whatever, is underway. That will also continue to pursue characters in Dragon Ball Super. So when we start to get celebrations that are for those things, we will be getting more superhero characters, superhero leading characters, super boss characters, and so on and so forth. Super is going to be at the forefront of Dokkan in terms of like the most hype, most relevant stuff. So investing early might not be a bad thing. You could also argue on the flip side that investing early is pointless because the newer versions of superhero characters might just invalidate the older ones. And while that may be true, you also want to have a foundation to start when that celebration begins. Because the issue with Daima was that very thing. A lot of people couldn't really appreciate what Daima was giving us because going into this 11th anniversary celebration, people had to skip Goma, people had to skip Super Saiyan 4 Mini, people had to skip every Daima installment that released because they were happening at such inconvenient times. Gohan is not showing up on a summon only. Gohan is now showing up as a coinable purchase. This is a good opportunity to start to build the future superhero type team. And I think having at least one of those two would be a good way to do it. And that's why I'm thinking going for Gohan would be the better choice because of what he can do individually. But as far as a superhero lead, the superhero portion is the secondary leader skill. So you could also argue that the Gamma 2 could be the better choice in terms of that. I don't know if that is necessarily enough. I think for now, just having a couple of good anchors for the future of superheroes would be a good move if you really want to buy somebody, but I would go with this one. As far as the current team that you run with like superhero movie heroes, by the way, which the God Goku does fit on. Let's just start by putting together a superhero movie heroes team. So it would be this, and then I would do this and this. Oh, no, this one. So if you just look at that, I mean, the core engine is just double rotations featuring Gamma 1, Gamma 2. You've got your slot 1 defender with the Gohan, or you can switch them to Gamma 1, and then boom, synergy is through the roof for the Gamma 2. Or you would just keep the Gohan as a defense stacking unit in slot 1, which is probably better. And you can have the Gamma 2 do whatever. Or you could even float him off and have him sort of alternate with this Gamma 2 while having the Gamma 1 maintain the slot 1 anchoring position. This dynamic already gives you a great 1-2 punch to just open the rotations. After that, you can include additional characters that can do attack redirection, someone like a Frieza. Or if you want someone who can do that while also being a sort of an enforcer, you could bring in characters like Beast Gohan or Ultimate Gohan, whose offense is now pretty impressive. Ultimate Gohan also works very well with this guy. This would honestly probably be a better approach, doing something like this. That way you can share the nice synergy between multiple Gammas on the turn, and their extra support effects can help more than just each other. While also throwing in, yeah, this Gogeta for some stat buffing, guaranteed dodge and whatnot. Beast Gohan for more attack redirection, or if you want to not do that, you want to throw in somebody else to bring in the gods. And this is just superhero movie heroes. There's more options outside of this. So going back to Dokkan Database, this is a feature that I think I showed once before, but I feel like more people need to know about this. If you check out a unit's info page, when it says leader skill, go to the right and it shows lead buffs. This will now show you all possible combinations of leader skills at the various levels that the unit will provide. So with 3 primary leads and 3 secondary leads, you guys know this, it's incredibly annoying and time consuming and just irritating to have to do all these combinations ourselves. Movie heroes, superheroes, movie heroes, bond of parent child, movie heroes, androids, Hybrid Saiyan superheroes, Hybrid Saiyans, bond of parent child, Hybrid Saiyans, androids, so on and so forth. So that's 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, just these 3 as their own individual leads. That's 12 leader skill combinations. This website does all of that for you. So now you can click on these cross sections and you can see all the units that fit at the maximum leader skill level. And you've got all of these options. Granted, Orange Piccolo has not exactly aged very well. Gohan very much has. Golden Frieza very much has. You got the Gammas here, they're still good. The gods can still cook. Moving over here, AGL God Goku, Resurrection F Blues, Gogeta. You've got some Hybrid Saiyans in here, right? Movie heroes, bond of parent and child. Movie heroes, androids, that's pretty weak. Over here, Hybrid Saiyan superheroes. Not much going on for right now. What if we get a tracksuit Gohan? What if we get a summonable tracksuit Gohan for Dragon Ball Super Beerus? That's actually gonna be really funny. Hybrid Saiyans, bond of parent and child. Look at that. Hybrid Saiyans has had some nice upgrades incrementally over the last year. Got Pan here. We got Xeno Trunks, the new guy. Well, you probably don't have him. But you have the 2 older Xeno Trunks, Xenoverse EZAs. They're definitely available for you guys because free. Trunks and Future Trunks, or Future Gohan and Trunks, one of the best LRs out there. So some nice boosts there. Mission execution, superheroes. Wait, what? What was that? Yeah, their mission was to take care of the ranch. Mission execution, bond of parent child. I don't even look at this, but this site now lets me do that. Mission execution, androids. Oh yeah, look at this. This was a big problem during 2025. Or sorry, was it 2025? Actually, sort of, yeah. Having alternate ways to run androids was kind of an issue because if you didn't summon for that AGL Android 16, that was rough. Now these two can be run together. So there is some seedlings for the future in terms of androids. Got Mira here, and then we get onto the partial leader skills. But I think that what Gohan can bring individually while also boasting a decent selection of characters, not everybody, but a decent selection, I think that Gohan is worth investing in. But that's my opinion. If you agree or disagree, that's totally fine. I just don't think that you need both. So if you have to choose one or the other. I would rather go for the Gohan than the Gamma 1 or the Gamma 2 Piccolo. At one copy, this Gohan is very effective. I would say go for that. Everybody else can wait, and that includes Super Easy Beerus. I think he would be the one lone pickup. If you don't want to do that, where is the next logical place that you'll probably want to spend? I don't think there'll be anything here of significance. I mean, at this point, if you're not going to spend here, you might just be better off waiting for New Tanabata. New Tanabata, ironically, is where the old JP Tanabata was. So there could be some nice Dokkan Festival LRs that you can buy with coins out here. That'll take a couple more months, but if you wait and you do a couple of summons for summon points like some of you guys like to, you might just get a little bit more where you could maybe buy more than you wanted or more than you were expecting up here in July. Those are my thoughts. Hopefully I helped you out. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like down below. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on this whole discussion. Do you recommend picking up the Gohan or the Gamma 2 right now? Or would you rather wait for the superhero category to receive more significant buffs before then investing? Either you do it now or you do it later. Would you rather be doing it now or later? Let me know your thoughts. Which characters have you considered or even purchased? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more Dokkan content in the future and click the notification bell so that you let YouTube know you want to see more of my stuff. Do it. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned and always remember to Dokkan responsibly.